Okay, so a while ago in 1959, tensions between the USSR and the US were rising. The countries were in the Cold War and were pretty angry at each other. So to try to relax the tensions, the Soviets held a little convention in New York, and the Russians showed the U.S. some of their things, and the U.S. showed the Russians some of their things. But then the CEO, no, not the CEO, the vice president of Pepsi, came over to the leader of the USSR, Nital Khrushchev, and handed him an ice-cold bottle of Pepsi, not sponsored by Pepsi. One thing leads to another, and Pepsi begins selling their soda in the USSR. Now, to do that, since the Russian dollar was worth literally nothing outside of Russia, the Russians trade vodka for Pepsi, the most Russian thing in the world. But there's one problem with this. So in 1989, the deal expired, but the Russians still wanted their Pepsi. So the Russians trade the Pepsi, 17 Soviet attack submarines, for some Pepsi. This makes Pepsi the 6th largest military in the world. Okay, question. Can we have Pepsi as a country? The United States of Pepsi? USP? Can we have that? So, but then Pepsi sadly sells all the submarines to Norway and Sweden to scrap them. Still want the country